But how else can we explain these terrible deaths? Von Eltz last night, 5 others before him, that's 6 within as many weeks, Inspector. Our friends, neighbors that we'd known for years, drained of their life's blood, found dead in bed, lifeless skeletons of skin and bone. Vampires are at large, I tell you, vampires.
Yeah. Malignant demons who issue forth from their graves in the dead of night to attack their victims and drink the blood from their veins.
Gotten Himmelbrecht, Schneider, don't jest.
That blood-sucking legend belongs in the same category with werewolves and all other peasant superstitions.
But the bats, man. The bats.
God, yes. Big ones, so.
Oh, now we're switching to bats again.
There was an epidemic of giant bats in Klein Schloss in 1643. And at the same time, there was an outbreak of vampirism.
Rot.
Why, this record from the town archive proves it.
Says it, not proves it.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you. Now, here it is. And on this day was von Hausmann hanged from a gibbet in the public square after being convicted on a proven charge of vampirism. And on this same day, there did occur the departure of the bats. Thousands of horrible flying creatures which infested the town for weeks. And on the night of this same day, February 13, in the year of our Lord, 1643, was there a stake driven through von Hausmann's heart and his head cut off with a grave digger's shovel. There.
Well, all the records in the world can't make me believe in vampires. There are blood-sucking bats, yes. In South America, thousands of miles from here, but not in Kleinschloss.
But bats fly. They could fly here. You saw the bodies. All of them. 2 wounds on the neck, right at the jugular vein. 2 wounds on the neck, pierced and spread apart just as if 2 fang-like teeth had bitten through the flesh and right into the veins. And in every case, a blood clot, 8 inches from the victim's neck. The mark of the feast, the devil's signature.
Does that appear the mark of a human being or a demon's?
God save us, the devil's.
You ought to make a pretty fair meal for a vampire. But let's be consistent. Are these human vampires or bats?
Vampires can take the shape of a human or a bat, just as they choose.
Oh, they're magicians. Well, it doesn't make sense to me.
The whole village is in terror. We live in closed houses, behind locked doors and bolted shutters, not daring to close our eyes, fearful lest this unseen silent death may find us in our sleep, for it is then that it strikes, swiftly, silently, ghastly. My room is tightly closed. The windows are barred, nailed down. Nothing can get in. Nothing.
But they tell me vampires can go through stone walls like that.
God save me. So they can. We've got to do something, I tell you. Klein Schloss will become a deserted village.
Well, you might catch all the bats and drown them in the river.
Carl.
While you're hunting for vampires and chasing bats, I'm looking for a human being. A murderer, a fiend.
Well, then don't jest about it. Do something.
I'm trying to. Every hour, every day, every night since this thing started.
Do you hear it? Hear it? Yes. Night after night. Lying awake until dawn. Waiting.
For what?
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Good night, gentlemen. Don't let the vampires get you. Are your kisses dynamite?
Don't you like my kisses? Well, how's my mastermind this evening?
Well, if you want the truth, not so good.
The Burgermeister and his Grand Council still stick to the vampire theory.
Stick to it? Huh. They're quoting history to prove it. I think you and Dr. von Niemann are the only sane people left in the village.
And you? What about you?
Me? Well, I'm beginning to think I'm 7 different kinds of a fool. Murders are being done under my very nose. I must be as blind as the bats themselves. I can't find a single clue.
Oh, but you will, Carl. You will.
Well, I haven't.
Oh, Ruth!
And here comes dear Aunt Gussie to spread good cheer and hope.
Just what I thought. Slaving your life away in this awful place. It hasn't got that nice, clean, wholesome smell of a hospital. How are you, Carl?
Oh, quite well, thank you.
Well, I'm not. This clammy old place is bound to give me pericarditis, enterocolitis, neuritis, well, anyway, rheumatism. You have some coffee?
No, thank you, Frau Stammmann.
No, it's just as well. There's only 2 cups. Here, dear. That'll take the chill out of your bones.
Thank you.
Speaking of chills, Frau Schnappmann, did you know the village is supposed to be infested with ghouls and vampires?
Oh, Carl.
Vampires. Pariahs among fiends. Demoniacal creatures with huge canine teeth who bite deeply into the necks of their victims to quaff and gorge on blood. Warm human blood.
There's no such thing as a vampire, Carl Brett Snyder. I don't believe in it. You're just saying that to frighten me. And I just won't be frightened. I'm entirely too sensible to believe in such rubbish.
I beg pardon.
Oh, so it's you.
I'm sorry if I frightened you.
Who said you frightened me? I'm not afraid of anything.
Could you tell me where Dr. von Niemann is?
We drove to the village to see Martha, the old apple woman.
Thank you.
Is this what Dr. Haupt prescribed?
Yes, sir. She takes it in water.
Well, continue giving it to her.
Yes, sir.
It's stifling in here. Open these windows.
Herman open windows. Me do.
Well, she'll sleep well now, poor soul. It won't be necessary for you to stay here. A good night's sleep will work wonders for her.
It was kind of you to come, Doctor.
Oh. Martha has sold me apples for many years. Always a good, ripe, juicy one.
Martha, give me apples. I like.
Oh, Josephine. Oh, good.
She wants a cross.
Herman, get. Here. Now, there. For Martha. There. No.
She won't let it out of her sight.
A terrible experience. To be attacked by a giant bat is enough to shatter anyone's nerves.
She talks about it all the time. How it flew in her face and tried to sink its teeth in her throat.
No. Bats no do. They soft, like cat. They not bite Herman.
Be quiet, Herman. See what you've done.
There, Martha, there. She'll be all right. If she isn't, let me know.
Thank you for coming, Doctor.
That's all right. Good night.
Good night. Run along, Herman. You can see Martha tomorrow.
Oh. Dr. von Niemann.
Ah, Kringen, how are you?
Much better, thank you kindly, sir, since you prescribed for me.
That's right.
Go to bed, Herman. Go to bed. You shouldn't be prowling around the streets. It's dangerous. Oh. I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what, Kringen?
The bats, sir. Big giant bats with wings like an eagle's.
You saw this bat, you say?
I saw it swooping down the street. It came directly for my throat, sir.
When was this, Kringen?
Last night when they came to take Von Eltz. It was a big monstrous thing. I saw it leap across the alley and into a window. I ran just as fast as my legs could carry me.
You said nothing about this?
There's enough fear in the village already. Maybe I should. I will. I'll tell the Burgermeister.
Yes, Kringen. That's the thing to do.
No. Bats good. They not hurt Herman. He plays with them. You no tell. No. Go to bed, Herman. Go on, go to bed.
You say he plays with bats?
His garret is filled with them. He makes pets of them.
That's odd. Very odd.
Maybe he's it. Herman prowls around the streets all hours of the night, just like an animal. Maybe he's the vampire.
Now, don't start any gossip with that, Kringen. Heaven only knows where it might end. Good night.
Good night, sir. There. Now. Soft. Nice. There. See? What did I tell you?
Perhaps there's something in what Kringen says.
Seems strange that a human being should want to play with bats.
He isn't human, I tell you. He's in league with the devil.
Put it on. There. Thanks.
Now go to sleep. You'll be all right in a few days. The doctor says so.
Close the window. I'm afraid. The vampire.
Well, he said leave them open, but I'd have them closed. Do you want the light?
Leave the light. I'm afraid.
Well, I can't blame you for that either. I'll turn it down a little. Good night. If you want me, just pound on the floor. I'll hear you.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Martha.
Oh.
Herr Brett Schneider is here to see you, sir. He's in the laboratory with Miss Burton.
Oh, thank you. Ah, here you are.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Ruth. How are you, Carl?
Well, I'd feel a lot better if I could find a solution to these murders.
You don't believe in this vampire theory, then?
Of course not. Do you?
There are many strange happenings, my boy. Many mysteries beyond the power of the human mind to comprehend.
Have you a theory which might explain these deaths?
Well, I'll be pleased to discuss it with you, but not now, not now. I have some very important work to do.
Well, tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow? Yes, perhaps. We'll see. Oh, this isn't so important, Miss Betty, that you can't let it go till tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Oh, how about Martha?
Huh? Oh, nothing serious. Just a case of nerves, that's all. Good night.
Good night,
Doctor.
Good night, Carl.
Name.
Martha Muller.
Age.
I don't know.
Cause of death.
Like all the rest.
The vampire.
Yes, that's so.
When I said I was going to tell you, his eyes glowed up like coals of fire. His hand reached out towards me, as if he were going to sink it into my throat.
And weigh this well. He never works and never begs, and yet he appears well-fed always.
That's so, he does.
Well, what does he live on, then? I'll wager it's as Kringen says.
And my woman was in Martha's room tonight when Herman put a flower in her hand.
Strange business, if you ask me. Mighty strange.
I hate to be in your shoes, Kringen.
Yes, after what happened tonight, I'd lock myself in my room and pray God to protect me from the devil.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening.
Dr. von Niemann. Doctor.